The Infernal Twins, A Night of Chaos, a tale of Agnivara and Rudraka, the twin flames of Valtora. The smoldering spire, high above the city of Acheron, the Ember Citadel stood as an indomitable fortress of molten grandeur. Its walls were carved from blackened basalt, streaked with veins of red god-glow, glowing dimly beneath the surface like embers waiting to awaken into a full blaze. The very foundation of the citadel pulsed with heat, and the air shimmered with its warmth. From the highest towers, tendrils of fire twisted into the night sky, forming symbols in the air, prayers written in flame that the Ignis priests claimed would guard the realm. Within the citadel, wide corridors of obsidian and ember steel stretched in labyrinthine paths, their ceilings high enough to fit the enormous fire banners of House Micah, the ruling family of Valtora. These banners depicted two flaming lions locked in battle, a reflection of both the nation's philosophy and its infamous twin princes. Past these halls, beyond the sacred shrine where the eternal fire burned, lay the royal chambers. There, two figures crouched beneath an open balcony, watching the city far below. Agnivara adjusted the sash of his fire-threaded robes, golden embroidery woven into the design of flames licking upward from the hem. His golden eyes, reflecting the flickering glow of the city's festival lights, were filled with quiet contemplation. By contrast, his twin, Rudraka, sat perched on the edge of the railing like a coiled ember beast ready to leap, a wicked grin stretched across his face. The dim light cast flickering shadows over his toned frame, and the scars from previous duels stood out faintly against his bronzed skin. The city below was alive with firelight. The Festival of Eternal Ember had begun, a celebration of the nation's legacy, commemorating the first Ember Lord who had risen from the ashes of a war-torn Valtora centuries ago. From here, the twins could see grand fire braziers illuminating the streets, sacred flamekeepers tending to towering pyres, and the spiral streets packed with revelers. Warriors in flame-forged armor drank from cauldrons of molten spiced wine. Fire dancers spun glowing ribbons into intricate patterns, and battle drummers pounded their rhythms against steel-bound hides, sending thunderous echoes through the city. "You hear that, brother?" Rudraka whispered. "What?" Agnivara sighed. "Freedom." The smell of charred meats and smoldering spices drifted up from the open-air markets. Warriors were already gathering for the arena of trials, where disputes and boasts would be settled in blood. For a night, all of Valtora was consumed in the flames of revelry and combat. "We are not sneaking out," Agnivara said. No, we are making a tactical retreat," Rudraka corrected with a grin. Before Agnivara could protest, Rudraka leapt onto the marble railing, crouched low, and pushed off. Agnivara groaned as his twin disappeared over the ledge, landing soundlessly in the courtyard below, his fire-threaded tunic blending into the shadows like the last flickers of a dying ember. There was no stopping it now. Muttering a silent prayer to the eternal flame, Agnivara followed. Acheron at night. Acheron, the capital of Valtora, was a city built to endure both the weight of time and the fury of fire. Its streets were lined with ashwood and emberstone, materials resistant to the perpetual heat radiating from the volcanic veins beneath the earth. Buildings were crafted with fire-hardened bricks, adorned with gold and rubrum crystal inlays, reflecting the flames that constantly illuminated the night. Massive statues of Valtoran warriors lined the roads, their eyes burning with god-glow fire, their weapons inscribed with runes of conquest. The river of ash, which flowed through the center of the city, was not made of water, but of molten rock, winding its way through fortified channels, feeding the forges of the fire-born artisans. Along its banks, the smith-priests of Kalarshilpi worked tirelessly, hammering god-glow-infused weapons into shape, their bodies gleaming with sweat and soot. Overhead, massive silk banners of flame-resistant fabric stretched between rooftops, rippling in the hot air. The city was alive, a pulsing heart of fire and ambition. The brothers moved quickly through the alleyways, avoiding the infernal guard patrols. Unlike in other lands, the guards here were not merely enforcers, but warriors of their own standing, trained to wield god-glow-infused weapons, their loyalty to the ruling family absolute. Their armor, made of obsidian-forged scales, shimmered with faint orange hues as they patrolled the streets. "The festival lasts all night. Where do we begin?" Agnavara whispered. Rudraka's grin widened. "Mayhem." Agnavara rubbed his temples. "Just once, can we not? First stop, the Market of Ash." The Flaming Rice Incident. The Market of Ash was the heart of trade and indulgence during the Festival of Eternal Ember. The air was thick with the scent of fire-roasted chilies, charred lamb skewers, and molten honey-glazed nuts. Merchants displayed wares made of flame-tempered glass, ember steel jewelry, and rare rubrum crystal artifacts that glowed faintly under the firelight. At the center of the market stood Harkin Firetongue, a proud old man stirring a massive iron cauldron, his booming voice rising over the festival noise. "Gather round, warriors. Taste the spiciest rice in all of Valtora, so hot it will test the very limits of your soul." A crowd gathered, eager to prove themselves. Rudraka's eyes gleamed with mischief. He grabbed a jar of Ghostfire chili powder, a spice so potent that it was rumored to ignite tongues upon consumption, and dumped the entire contents into the boiling pot. Agnavara stiffened. "Rudraka." Too late. The first warrior took a massive spoonful. For a brief second, there was silence. Then, "My tongue! My soul is on fire." The man let out a wail, his veins glowing as flames erupted from his nostrils. More warriors took bites, determined to outlast their peers. Within moments, chaos broke loose. Some sprinted to the river of ash, others rolled on the ground, while a few, in their delirium, challenged random strangers to duels. One poor man stumbled into a barrel of aged ember wine, igniting it upon impact. The barrel exploded, drenching the marketplace in flaming alcohol. Rudraka doubled over with laughter. Agnavara groaned. This was only the beginning.